What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man. Yes, I'm back at it again, and this is Fire Force episode 18 discussion slash review. Dude, it wasn't a bad episode. It just felt so lackluster until like the latter half. Okay, I know it was more informative, and I absolutely love that fact because we found out a lot more information than what we've been getting, and we saw some nice stuff this episode, like Vulcan working with Company 8 and building stuff for them and everything. But I guess the only part that really upset me the most was, don't get me wrong, Shinra really needed work, but like it was Shinra got more attention and effort than anyone else this episode. I really wanted them to give my boy Arthur some shine, man, because after that not last week's episode, but that other episode where he was fighting the two guys from the white clad group, he really kind of got shut down, and I really need them to reinsert my boy status, man, because he's always claiming he's a knight. So give him that knight status, man. Let Arthur shine, man. And I hope, and even if we don't get it like a full episode next week, just give me like how this week we got Shinra pretty much getting everyone's attention. Next week, let's give that to Arthur, since it seems like Conroe is kind of training him on the sword technique, even though his sword is kind of omnidirectional. So I really hope they focus on that. That's my only nitpick about the episode. Overall, it was a good episode, and I really enjoyed it. And I love the fact that we're seeing them train, because it was stated and it was mentioned by pretty much all of the captains were all of the stronger people, that they can fight and they're okay, but they don't have real battle experience. So teaching Arthur and Shinra to fight, like from battle experience, would be the best thing. So they went to train with Benimaru. Well, yeah, Benimaru. I mean, I combined his name, Benimaru, Shinra. I combined his name and everything, but they went to train with Benimaru. Okay, now this whole episode, it was good. There was a lot of aspects. There was a lot going on as well. This episode started with us seeing the guy from the first company, one of the priest guys, Princess Hibana, Captain Obi, and Conroe talking, and they're all trying to pull their information about the white clad, and they really don't have much to gather to talk about, but they're trying to combat them and think of a way to really crush these people, and they also pulled information on what they gathered. And we now know that Sho is like pretty much the commander that goes out and handles everything when the others can't handle it very well. Then we met some of the members already, and we know that Dr. Giovanni is working with them as well. So this episode was very informative, but it was also a very kind of like a training episode for Shinra and Arthur, but mainly for Shinra. So here's what we know, just the facts. That Dr. Giovanni is working with the white clad. We also know that Hijima, if they're not working with the white clad, which I don't think they are, but they have their own ulterior motive behind the scenes, and it comes out that Dr. Giovanni is working with the white clad, and they cover it up. That's like, it was major news that he attacked Vulcan's headquarters and base and everything, but excuse me, but Hijima covered it up, and they had some other flunky fill in and say that this was Dr. Giovanni, that the one that attacked Vulcan was an imposter. And Vulcan knows the real Dr. Giovanni. He's seen his face, and he told Obi and everyone else that that's not Dr. Giovanni. So now we also know, with everyone pulling the information together, that the white clad has secretly been implanting people inside the third fire company, and now they're pulling all of their people out, because Princess Hibana stated that they've been pulling people out of the third company. People from the third company has just been disappearing left and right. So they've been pulling people out of the third company that they placed. So they've had this secret. That's what I'm saying, man. There was so much in this episode, but they didn't, like, they showed it to us, but they really tried to brush it over. That's what it felt like to me. And then they just kind of threw us into everything else. This is some stuff that we should have focused on. But then we have Obi saying that he sent Victor Lick out to investigate and try to find out their base. And that's what the other dude from Company 1 was stating. Well, why don't we just find their base and attack them and eradicate them? And I agree with that, but let's be real, it's not going to be that easy to find their base. But the thing is, Victor Lick, we know for sure, works with Hijima and Joker. So we know that maybe after he tells Obi, he also would tell Hijima and Joker as well. Because there was so much other stuff going on too. And Princess Hibana stated that she doesn't trust Lick. And she asked Obi, does he trust him? And he was like, well, he hasn't done anything wrong to us so far. And that's the thing. So far. Because behind the scenes, we know what this dude, he's not planning anything right now, but we know where his allegiance lies. And that's the thing. So, I mean, we know not to trust him, but Obi doesn't see that part. And we see him having a conversation with Joker while he's out trying to find stuff to locate the White Clad's base. And him and Joker are having a conversation, and he was like, well, yeah, dude, they are strong. So, I mean, I don't know what the Fire Force is going to do, but Joker was stating that they are strong. He went hand-to-hand with Sho, and he could handle himself, and they both kind of ended up with putting moves on each other. But he was like, yeah, they are not to be foiled with. But then he also, and this is where it gets confusing for me, because I want to know what is Joker's motives. Like, we keep understanding that he keeps calling Shinra the devil in the Akaba, and is he trying to put Shinra up on that pedestal the way that the White Clad has Sho, and kind of have like a cult following behind Shinra as well? Because it's getting real confusing, and they're not elaborating on it, but I'm pretty sure the manga reader people probably understand what's going on in the manga. Us anime only watchers are left out of the loop. But it's very intriguing because he tells Victor Lick, train Shinra to be able to combat Sho when they meet again. And then that's what the back half of this episode was training for Shinra and Arthur. And then in like a little glimpses and flashes, we see Tamaki learning the sister exam and exercises or whatever she needs and qualifies to be a sister. Because let's be real, she cannot fight. Fighting is not her forte. And with her lucky lechery thing, it just, and that is one thing that annoys me the most out of this series. In this episode, she hit Shinra with a broom, and all of a sudden, her uniform just opens up, and she just jumps on top of him. How? It was funny the first couple times. It's not funny anymore. That's just my opinion. But we see her taking the sister exam, so maybe that's a good thing for her taking the sister's exam, because she got mollywopped in those fights. So fighting is not in her forte. So we're having training with Arthur and Shinra, but also we have Vulcan making equipment for the company, because he felt like, well, Shinra and Arthur's out training, so I have to step up and help in any way I can, and I can't be left behind by these guys. And he created a nice vacuum tube type grenade that sucks, that puts out the fire with magnetism, which is cool. And Obi was like, that's going to be neat since I don't have pyrokinetic powers. And then he created two little floating things. This was so cool for Maki, and like she can put in the Sputter and I can't remember the other one's name, but Sputter and the other one, and like she can control them to levitate and hit people and stuff. It's gonna be so. I want to see like a full blown fight now, because we're getting some stuff. We're having Arthur and Shinra train, and Maki's getting upgraded. And I want to see a full blown fight. I want him to create some stuff for the lieutenant as well. So then we're having them training and getting their fight done, and that's what the rest of this episode was about. And Victor Lick even helped Shinra learn how to do like a propulsion on his fire, so it wouldn't just go everywhere, so he can hone it in one direction and move a lot faster. And let's be real, when he mastered it, dude was jetting, and it was nice to see that. And then we have Conroe was like, and I love that Conroe. A lot of other people didn't really say much, but Conroe mentioned the fact that, well, if you betray the Eighth or hurt the Eighth in any kind of way, I'm going to throw you in the ocean. So it was nice to see him mention that, because we struggled with the Eighth. I mean, the Seventh really accepting the Eighth, and it was nice to see that now. But that's pretty much everything that happened. And we see Benimaru just putting the brakes to Arthur and Shinra the whole episode. I mean, at the end, they made a little progress when he was like, he tried to catch him off guard, and they separated. But the whole episode, he was putting the brakes. That just goes to show how we knew that they couldn't really do anything because he's a captain. He's been fighting for longer. He understands his powers. But for him to explain how he uses and controls his flames to Shinra, I thought that was another nice aspect from this episode, and that was really nice for him to go into detail and for us to see how the chakra points, get it like Naruto, and float and choose the key throughout your body, and how you can manipulate the fire within you. That was cool. That's pretty much everything that happened. But like I said, the comedy happened at the beginning, and then after that, it was pretty much like a serious thing the whole episode. And then they still had bits and pieces thrown throughout the whole episode. But we have Arthur talking to the donkey, which was funny, and we have the lieutenant rocking the hat that Vulcan made for him with the horns on it, and it was nice to see that. And that's what Fire Force does very well. It throws in the comedy, but it also keeps the very serious moments serious when need be. And we found out that the companies working together are the 7th, the 8th, the 5th, and the 7th, the 8th, the 5th, and the 1st. Okay, so those are all the companies that's working together as of right now. And I kind of want to know what the other companies are doing right now, because this threat is getting serious, and the White Clad aren't hiding anymore. They're starting to attack in broad open. And we also found out that the White Clad now have the real link to, like, the key to the Amaterasu. And I'm with Obi. I don't know what they want to do with that, but they gotta have a major plan, man. That's everything that happened this episode. And like I said, I enjoyed it, but I just kind of really wish they gave my boy Arthur the shine and the credit he deserves, man. Hopefully they'll give us that next week, man. This is your boy Dick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.